Joining us, a very apologetic Danny Gokey. Danny, good morning, man. How are you?
Good. Besides the fact that I overslept, I'm doing great and excited for tonight's show. How are you?
I am fantastic. It's cool to see that you're apologetic. It's really not a big deal. You know, people are late and stuff, but it's nice to see that you're not just like, I'm Danny Gokey. I'm on a tour bus. I don't care what time I wake up.
Well, you know what? It's funny. I actually have a reputation for being the most on time. I've had other radio people tell me, "Wow, they really said you would call at the exact time." I really try to be real. You don't understand. This bothers me. I try to be so prompt with every call, and I must have not checked I got a day sheet every day of what's going on the next day, and I must have not checked it or didn't see it. I don't know what happened, but I'm sorry.
It's totally cool. But I mean, I do appreciate your sincerity. I'm the same way. It's like I'm the kind of guy that if I'm going somewhere, I want to be on time because I give people crap when they're late. So it's like the one time I miss something or show up a little late, it's like I feel horrible about it. So I know where you're coming from.
Me too, man. Cool.
So tonight you're playing with Sugarland down at Frontier Days in Cheyenne. Are you in Wyoming right now?
I'm not sure. I just we're at a truck stop right now. I think we're almost there. I think we got about another hour. We drove last night from Albuquerque. It's about an 11-hour drive or something like that.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's a long drive, man. How cool is that, though, that that's your life now? That you went from being, just kind of singing in church and hanging out and doing your thing to now getting to be on a tour bus and tour around the country and do what you love. I got to tell you, I'm living the dream, and it's so... I'm so thankful, man. I got to be honest. I never thought that this would happen for me. I remember I used to drive a semi-truck and during the daytime as a full-time job, and then in the evening I did music for 2 churches at night. And, I remember at one point I gave up because I put so much into music and nothing happened. But now a couple years later, fast forward, and look where I'm at. I'm having the time of my life. Exactly. And you're kind of doing the country thing. So it's like out of last season, we got Chris Allen. He's kind of doing a more folky, kind of just singer-songwriter-y type thing and mixing in a little pop. Adam Lambert, obviously, is on the other spectrum of Lady Gaga level pop. And then you're kind of going the country route. Are you, obviously, that's kind of where your voice, was geared towards and the audience they thought would like you the best. Do you kind of wish you might have been able to go pop, or are you just totally happy in the country thing?
I'm loving the country thing. I got to be honest, man. When I was on the show, I've only had experience doing, gospel music. That was my only experience, but I knew I didn't want to do it. I just knew that I've done that, and I wanted to try other things. But I've had no experience in other areas. But one thing I loved about country music, that you can always keep your gospel influence. And I like talking about regular things, and I love entertaining, and I love having fun.
Yeah.
And Ray Travis was the one who really... he suggested that I do country music. He was the mentor on the show, and I happened to walk past his bus, and he was right there, and he said, "Let me talk to you." And he said, "You should really do country music." He said, "Country music has been missing soul for so long." And he said, "You would bring such a soulful touch to it, and the fans would love you for it." And I was blown away. And I took his advice, and I went for it, and I love it. I got to be honest, man. I love doing country music. I grew up on country music. I never thought that country would accept me because of the soulfulness, but he was right. It's one of the keys that actually the fans love about me.
That's cool, man. Well, and speaking of, he told you that on the show when he was on Idol. What have you heard this morning? I guess you just got up, so you might not have heard, but here, let me update you. It's a report. Ellen quit Idol.
Oh, yeah, I did hear about that.
She quit, and Cara DiAguardi is now officially fired from Idol, so she's gone.
She got fired from Idol?
Yes, she's. That's the news reported today on all the sites, is that Cara's officially... So Randy's the only remaining judge that's confirmed at this point, and he, obviously, some people are saying he's going to go too. They just need to figure out, since he's got a year left, how the technicalities are going to work. But isn't that crazy? I mean, the whole show's just going to be completely different.
Wow. I am shocked. I had no idea.
Yeah, TMZ, Perez, all those sites reporting, in big tickers on the top of the page, Cara DiAguardi fired from American Idol. And I doubt fired, you suck. It's like I know they probably didn't renew her contract again, something like that.
Yeah, that's really because I saw Cara at the she was at the CMT Award show. She presented an award, and she was also at the after party, and I saw another Cara. And she mentioned that she didn't know what was going on. And so she was right. They did. That's exactly what they did, because she said, I think she did a year-by-year contract, so that had to be what it was, is that they just didn't renew her contract.
Yeah, and so they say fired, probably because she didn't quit, but really it's not like fired like, Cara, you screwed up, you were too hot or something like that.
Well, it totally makes good news, good media, you know what I mean?
Exactly. What do you think? I mean, you were on the show, you've experienced the whole Idol mania, more than the rest of us have just watching it. How do you think the future of Idol's going to be with it going against X Factor, which is a very, very similar show with Simon Cowell kind of at the helm of that. Like, do you think Idol can survive, or do you think that whole audience is just going to become X Factor audience and Idol will go away and X Factor will be the new Idol?
Well, X Factor is really going to carry I don't know, it's going to have like the same structure and foundation. And people, I think they thrive under a good structure and good foundation. And I don't know, it seems like that X Factor is going to keep it because it's going to have, from what I heard, it's going to have Simon and Paula again. You know what I mean?
They're talking Paula. I mean, I don't know if she's confirmed yet, but that would be, exactly. It's
right.
Like, it's Idol essentially with more mentoring from the judges, pretty much. And
it's right, and it's a fresh perspective, which people always like to see something, a same pattern, but another, a fresh perspective on it. Man, I can't tell you, man. I love American Idol because I love what it did for me, but I'm anxious and interested to find out what it's going to be like. I guarantee you the first ratings of the first show of Idol this year, or next year when it starts, is going to have high ratings because everyone's going to tune in to see what is this all about and what's going to happen.
Exactly. It's going to be over the course of the show where they see, I get the new judges, I feel what's going on here. Do I like this as much as I like X Factor with Simon, who I already know I like? That's going to be the big decision there. What's the dream for you? I mean, you're doing the country music thing. Is there like somebody out there right now that's in the music world today who you say, I want to be like, I want to be a Tim McGraw, I want to be a Toby Keith? Are you happy where you're at, or what's the big dream?
I just, it's funny because speaking of Tim McGraw was the first album I ever bought. I was 13 years old, and I went to the store, and that's when I think his album was called Not a Moment Too Soon, and it had Don't Take the Girl on it. And I picked up and bought it. Well, last week, I just did a show with Tim McGraw, and it was unbelievable. I opened up for him, and can I just tell you, I respect him and admire him so much. I got to watch the show from the side of the stage, which was a nice perspective, and I just admire him. I really do. And if there's anyone, I guess, that you could say that I want to pattern myself, it'd either be him or Keith Urban,
Just because of the Nicole Kidman thing?
Dude, I just think that's the coolest thing. Yeah. He's kind of like the hugest celebrity he married.
Exactly. That's cool, man. Well, hey, I think you're on track. You're doing the right stuff, and people are liking what you do and having a good time. So tonight, I encourage people to check out 8 o'clock with Sugarland, Cheyenne Frontier Days down in Cheyenne, Wyoming. Danny Gokey, it's been great talking to you, even though you were late. No, I'm kidding.
Man, I'm so sorry. Thank you for being so gracious to me, though. I'm serious, man. I appreciate your kindness.
Hey,
Thank you.
No problem. Danny Gokey, thanks so much for being on The Big J Show, man. Have a good one.
Take care. Bye-bye.
The Big J Show. Weekday mornings from 6 till 10 on Billings' #1 hit music station, Hot 101.9.